Belly Love Boxing Show. Sitting here with Breadman Edwards, head trainer Julian Williams. How you feeling, Brad?
I'm all right. How you doing, man?
All right, man. I know it's kind of hot out here, and it's heat a little crazy. But what's been going on? We got a big date coming up.
Yeah, man. It's supposed to be October 1st, so
yeah,
we're just getting ready, man. That's what you work your whole career for.
Yeah, Jermall Charlo, one hand for the Charlo brothers. But some people say, even though he is champ right now, some people say, he's not experienced enough, or some people say, yeah, he's a monster, this and that. What's your true opinion on him?
I think he's a solid fighter. You don't get to be a world champion at junior middleweight and be 24-0 and be a bum. He's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. I think Julian is a better fighter, but this is a real fight. This is a real #1 contender versus a real champion, and we got our work cut out for us.
Yeah. Now, I see Julian been calling this guy out for a while. The fight didn't happen a few years ago or a year ago. Why? Because of the experiences, or was he not ready, or what do you think? The business?
I think it was a little bit of business, and I think that it's a little bit of him maybe not. Julian ain't no joke, you know what I mean? So that's a tough fight. So you just don't take that kind of fight on the whim. You got to let that fight build. And boxing is a business, and to defend against a kid like Julian, Jermall has to be compensated well, because that's a fight he could lose, So I think that they took a little time to build it up, and now it's finally here.
Now, say it wasn't Jermall Charlo and it was, let's say, Canelo Alvarez. Will we take the fight, or will we let it build?
Well, I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Because Julian isn't the world champion yet, so he has to take that. You know what I mean? He's trying to establish. He can already fight, but he has to build his star power. So you get called for Canelo, that's like somebody asking you, do you want this lottery ticket? And are you going to cash it in? You got to take the fight. So I would take the fight. That's up. I don't know if Canelo would take the fight, but if I get a call for Canelo Alvarez, we'd take the fight.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys look forward to jumping in with Canelo one day?
Hell yeah. But I don't even want to talk about nobody else except Jermall Charlo. Ask me that on October the 2nd, Greg. We got a big fight. Dude,
I hope I'm there.
He has a chance to change his whole life around, become the first champion ever from West Philly, to become, besides Danny Garcia, Bernard Hopkins, and Steve Cunningham, we haven't had a champion in this city in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So this is an important fight for his career, man. A lot of people didn't think Julian was going to be this good as a pro. So we got a lot to prove, man. So I want to concentrate on this fight. Right.
Now, again, Julian, I see his last few fights, he's been punishing guys. Do you guys train for knockouts, or it just come?
We don't train exactly for knockout, but we do study the body parts. We do study how to hit a guy in certain vital areas. We do train to punish a guy. If you look for a knockout in the fight, it's difficult to get, but we definitely train to hit guys in vital areas. He's an extremely accurate puncher. He's very technical. He can kind of hit you where he wants to hit you, and as far as getting knockouts, I think he scored 10 knockouts in his last 13 fights. He's hitting his stride. He's getting his man strength. He just turned 26 a couple months ago, and he's putting everything together.
I notice when a lot of guys when they win world titles, or when they gain a certain success, they get a little big headed and they lose focus. How does a kid like Julian, keep his focus?
Because if you want to have continued success, then you have to remain focused. He's made money, but he hasn't made big money yet. He's made enough money to take care of his family, buy a couple of nice things, but he hasn't made no real money, you know what I mean? So if he wants to remain successful, then he's gonna have to remain grounded. That's gonna be up to him, man. He's gonna have to show a certain level of maturity. But right now he's hungry. As a homeless person, you know what I mean? He hasn't made no money compared to what a lot of other guys have made. Guys that he's a better fighter than. So he's hungry right this moment. I hope he stays this hungry for the remainder of his career. But I'm just worried about this moment right now. He's a very, very hungry fighter, because Jermall Charlo has made more money than Julian. He's been on a bigger stage. So that kind of stuff gives you motivation. It gives you an axe to grind, especially when you feel like you're the better fighter.
Right. Now, I've been hearing a lot in the sport from some coaches, a lot of fighters. They're saying that they don't watch tape. What's your view on that?
That's dumb. If I got a test, I'm going to study for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we watch tape over here. We study little things that fighters do. We study He's got some brutal knockouts over capitalizing on a mistake that another fighter has made.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't watch tape, that's good. I hope they don't watch the tape. You know what I'm saying? But we study tape.
Okay. Now, getting ready, y'all about, let's say, 9 weeks away, right? Getting ready for a fight. How do you keep hungry with, because sometimes around, I say a fighter can go probably 5 weeks and then they ready. You know what I mean? So when you got something like 9 weeks.
The fight is, let me see, October 1st. So it's 31 days in August.
Yeah.
30 days in September. It's the 23rd. So about 70 days. That's like 10 weeks. You know what I mean? It's a long time. It's actually almost too long. I don't like for him to have to train this long. Because he can peak out in 5 or 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's little things that I got to do to kind of keep him from going overdrive. Because he's chopping at the bit, man. He's ready to go. He hasn't. I won't even let him box. He could box 7-8 rounds coming off the street. You know what I'm saying? With the kind of shape that he's in as far as his condition is concerned.
Right.
So it is going to be difficult. You know what I mean? I wish we were in the middle of August right now. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely going to be difficult keeping him chopping like that.
Right.
For 10 weeks. It's a long time.
Right. Now, being that I grew up in Philadelphia, a lot of the coaches, I know them, been seeing them for a long time. When Breadman stepped up on the scene, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know where he came from. Explain how you got into boxing.
I've always been into boxing, man. I actually I played a lot of sports as a kid. High school, I played basketball. When I was a little younger than that, I played football and baseball. And I started boxing after high school. Kevin Carmody actually was training me in Kenny. And then, I went to college, got a job. I always wanted to get back into it. Julian asked me to start working with him in 2010. And it just kind of just took off, you know what I mean? And I feel like, man, when you're good at something, you don't have to do it for 30 years, you know? Sharks are born swimming. I keep saying that, I know guys that have been working 30 years and never had a chance to train a guy in a championship fight. I always had confidence in myself, man. I'm a winner. I believe that I'm going to be good in anything I do. And I knew I would be a good trainer because I had a high boxing IQ.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know if I came out of nowhere, but I always been around.
Yeah, I mean, short 6 years, man. A lot of success in short 6 years. And, I congratulate you on that, man, because a lot of people are not able to do that. And sometimes I think it's, guys just don't know how to go about certain situations. They uneducated on the business of boxing, and they kind of jump out in the water too early. What keeps you grounded and keeps you humble?
You definitely have to have your business structure in order. You can't work with everybody. It's like dating a woman, man. You got to be selective. Because the one thing about boxing is, one thing about investing in your time in anything, time is undefeated. You can't get your time back. So once you're giving the guy 2 hours of your time and you give him your knowledge, you can't get it back. You can't take back what you said to him. You can't get the time that you spent with him. So you got to make sure that the people you invest your time and your knowledge in is worth it. And Julian Williams is a great fighter, man. The world just don't know it yet. He was worth my time. We spent a lot of time together.
Right.
A lot of mornings together, a lot of afternoons together for the last 6 years.
Right.
I probably never have went more than 2 or 3 days without seeing him over the last 6 years. And it's paid off. I've gotten other fighters. I've had big opportunities with him, and it just paid off. Success keeps me grounded. I like money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be able to provide for my family and do good things for them. And being successful in boxing allows your checks to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? And, you just got to have high character. People will be able to sense that you got good character and want to work with you.
Now, how many fighters are you currently coaching?
5. I have 2 pros and 3 amateurs. And my hands are full. I'm really selective, man, because there's only but so many hours in the day. And everybody thinks that they deserve your individual time. So, it's only but so many fighters that you could possibly train and still have a life outside of your gym, and I don't want to cut anybody short. So I'm very selective, and Julian right now has the biggest fight of his career. He has to get my time, you know what I mean? I have to see him in the morning. There's about an hour in the morning, and I have to see him in the gym in the afternoon for about 2 hours every day. And I don't want to shortchange anybody. And the other guys, their careers are important to them also.
Right.
And I treat everybody the same. You know, an amateur with 5 or 6 fights, he wants to beat Julian one day. So you got to give that kid that time. So my stable is not that big. You know, I got 5 kids, and hopefully everybody turns out to be world champion.
Right. Now, one last question: Do you study other coaches and other styles of fighting than what you teach?
It's a good question. I study fighters more than I study coaches. You know, I study like great fighters from the past. If I hear about a training technique that they use or different things that they use, I may study that. For sure, because you can tell a fighter by his coach. Like Nacho Bernstein, his guys hold their hands in a certain way,
right,
where the left hand is up and kind of out. Marquez brothers hold their hand like that.
Right.
Ricardo Lopez, you can tell they all shoot a left uppercut that you never see.
Right.
Virgil Hunter kind of teaches his guys to kind of sway with their left hand and point with their left hand. So it's certain things that you pick up from different coaches. I wouldn't say I study other coaches, but I do study what great fighters have done, and obviously somebody had to teach them. You know, your man Gabe Rosado, his coach Fernando Vargas fought in the same division as Julian, so I study guys with similar body types that I'm coaching. Julian's a little taller than Fernando, but they both, you know, similar height, and they both fought at 54. Fernando Vargas used to do a move, he would pull your glove down and come around the glove. And I taught Julian that move about 4 or 5 years ago. He finally started doing this. Catch, you know, everybody's doing it now. You know what I'm saying? The whole city, I go in the gym, I see a kid ripping the glove down, coming behind his ear.
Right.
Actually, against Luciano Coelho, got a knockout like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely study different techniques of different fighters and things like that.
All right, man. Thanks for your time. Can you tell the people where they can check you out? Social media?
Twitter, Breadman Boxing, and Instagram, @Bread_man.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brad.
Yup, you got it.
All right.